Hi, welcome to Rudy's Movie Review, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic, guys. And today I'm going to be talking about probably the most disturbing film experience I've had in quite some time. I'm not lying. The film I'm going to be talking about is called The House That Jack Built, starring Matt Dillon and directed by the infamous director Lars von Trier. Now, I have to admit, this is my first experience watching a Lars von Trier movie. I hear he is quite dangerous in the sense that there's really no boundaries on what he can do. A lot of the stuff he does is really out there and in your face. And I'd like to talk about this film and my experience overall. So let's get started on it. Now, what's the film about? The story follows Jack, a highly intelligent serial killer named Mr. Sophistication. It follows him over the course of 12 years and depicts the murders that really developed his inner madman. Now, these murders he calls incidences or incidents. One first incident, second incident, and so forth. There are many murders, but he really focuses on a few. I have to admit, Matt Dillon in this role, I haven't seen him in quite some time, but he really nails this part as a sociopath and a madman. He's charming when he needs to be. He's sophisticated, as his killer name says. And he's also quite evil and dehumanizing with his victims. You almost understand why his victims fall for his words and his personality and his charisma. He really sells this role, and I gotta applaud Matt Dillon for really going out there and providing a memorable performance in this film. And the other piece I love to talk about is the director Lars von Trier. As I mentioned earlier, this was my first experience watching a film of his. And the entire time, I have to admit, I felt unsafe. And let me explain what I mean. When you watch films with directors, there's boundaries that they're not going to cross. There's a norm of films that you watch where they won't go there. The entire time I'm watching this film, I'm like, I don't know what the rules are. It could be absolutely anything. And really, out of all the incidences that are depicted in this film, the one that really kind of stayed with me, is really disturbing to watch and really tough to sit through, is incident number 3. Now, I won't go into detail or spoil what happens in incident 3, but you know what's going to happen when you see the people that he's with. You immediately feel a sense of dread, like, oh my God, he's not going to do what I think he is. Oh, he is. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, but incident number 3 is the one that really that stuck with me, and it's really tough to watch. So if you're squeamish in any way, be cautious of incident number 3, because that one, you'll see what I mean if you watch it. Now, my thoughts on the film overall, it's about 2.5 hours. It's a really long film. It's a patient film. It's a slow burn, which I didn't mind. I will admit there were periods in the film where I was feeling it dragged a little bit. There's a lot of discussion of art, architecture, engineering, art and film that kind of go a little outside the realms, and are they really necessary to the character? In the end, I believe they did, because it all ties to Jack's mentality, his art, and what he does in the home he's trying to build. Yeah, the title, he does build a home. Wait till you see it. Man. But it's a very slow film, and I have to admit, this is not going to be for a lot of people. If you have the stomach for horror films that are graphic and really can sit through a victim being dehumanized, I'll say that again, dehumanized, and really see evil at work, if you can sit through all that over 2.5 hours, then I recommend this film. But again, this film is not for everybody. But as far as a film experience, I have to admit, this is going to stay with me for quite some time. I love horror, and I love films that really push boundaries, and this film definitely pushes boundaries. So again, it's not going to be for everybody, but if you're looking for this type of movie, I recommend seeing it. Now, as far as my overall rating for the film, I'm going to give it a solid 85 out of 100. Well acted, well directed. It's a little long and can drag at points here and there, but when things get going and those incidences really play out, they stay with you. And then the ending's very satisfying. I will not give away anything, but the ending is incredibly satisfying. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. Please take care, God bless, and live long and prosper. And I'm out.